Hey, so I wanted to shoot this quick video to give you an idea of what happens when you decide to work with us to start and maintain your SEO campaign. SEO doesn't have to be scary, and I hope this helps you get a better idea of what SEO is all about. The absolute only reason Google ranks a website high is because Google trusts the site. It loads fast. It's focused primarily on the end user experience. And there are other signals off-site that Google can see that lends to that trust factor. So our entire focus of our SEO is to start and continue to build trust in Google's eyes. It's not hard, but it's expensive. There are hard costs directly related to it. But the ROI from this process is insane, no matter what business or niche you're in. So let's get into it. First, we make sure that your website is properly communicating with Google. So, Google responds to certain signals generated by your website. Some are visible to you in Google, while others are only visible to Google and are kind of off in the background. Your website has meta tags, descriptions, and titles. These components must accurately tell Google what your website is all about and what keywords you want to rank. Basically, what are you about, and how are people looking for your type of website when they Google? There are levels to this stuff. There are specific steps that we need to take to get Google to trust your website and you rank. Think of it as building a bridge to Google. So first, we do all of the on-page stuff. That usually gets a pretty good boost in rankings because now Google knows what your website's about, knows what each page is about, and knows what you want to rank for. Another fundamental foundational part of this SEO bridge is the press release. A press release is simply a professionally written article about your business that is then distributed to literally hundreds of newspapers, TV, radio, and different types of media websites. They're all published at once. So within a couple weeks, Google sees literally 500 links coming back to your site, all from sites that have an incredible amount of trust and authority already. One of the most important components of a solid SEO campaign is to create or fix all of your business listings. If you've been researching SEO, you may have heard of these before. They're called citations. All that means is how your business name, address, and phone number is listed anywhere across the internet. It could be places like Merchant Circle, yellowpages.com, Bing, Facebook, Google, any number of different directories that holds your business's name, address, and phone number. We search all of them out. We make sure that every single one of them is correct, synced, and matches your business website. So all of these across the internet must be perfectly the same. You can't have the street spelled out on one listing and then the street abbreviated in another listing. Google doesn't like that. So we go through and manually. This is what takes some time, a couple of weeks for our team to go through and manually confirm or correct each one of these. This is so important to building that bridge, because if Google can see 350 or so instances where your name, address, and phone number is listed exactly the same across all these directories and all these listings, it really adds to the trust. Google loves that. The most important thing in any relationship is trust. Your website's relationship with Google is no different. In any of our SEO campaigns, our first priority is to create a massive degree of trust between your website and Google. The bottom line is, if Google doesn't trust your site, they're not going to rank you for anything. Think about this. When you Google something, you trust that Google is presenting search results that are going to lead you to finding your answer or product, etc. How effective would Google be if the results they presented didn't satisfy your search? Google places its highest priority on the end user experience. Google is going to give priority to the websites that they trust and rank them the highest for a given search. You trust Google when you search. Google must trust the sites it presents are relevant to your search. It's quite elegant. This is why we place such a high priority in building that bridge with Google, establishing your trustworthiness, and placing your website in a position of authority and trust with Google. Building upon that solid foundation of trust, we start a daily link building campaign. So every single day, we're going to be building various types of links to your site from a variety of random platforms. So you're going to get links from sites with power, and some none at all. This can get a little technical, but the point is, Google sees all these links, and they will see a diverse, consistent flow of links coming to your site, building trust. What really ranks your site and holds it high in Google though, is the links that we create from sites that we own that already have a massive degree of trust and authority with Google. When we place a link to your website from one of these, it looks like we've just added 1,000 links all at once. That's how much trust and authority our site network has. This is where most of the expense of an SEO campaign comes from. The ranking isn't too difficult or time-consuming, but keeping and continually improving the rank takes time and money. To give you an idea, each of these websites that we link to you costs us about $200 to $800 just for the domain name. These domains already have an incredible amount of authority and trust with Google. We build a website on it, link it to your site, and share that trust and authority. That's what does the ranking and holds your ranking in place. The investment you make with us helps us offset the maintenance and the cost of these powerful sites that we use to maintain and improve your website's rank. We'll generate a baseline report and pull your main competitive keywords. Keywords that people are searching to find businesses like yours. This will tell us how you stack up against your competitors. Each month, you'll get a report that shows your keywords and where your website ranks. So as the SEO campaign continues, each month you'll see your keywords climbing. And then after about month 3, month 4, we start adding dozens and dozens more keywords. Kind of longer tail, longer sentences that people are also searching for. So that's our SEO campaign strategy in its simplest form. Are you ready to go from invisible to invincible? Click the link to contact us and get started.